Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am the president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, a proud graduate of NCC, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at NCC, along with the secrets to their success.
Today, we want to pay tribute to Alana McClinton, 27, of Nassau Community College alumni, the class of 2010. Alana was a remarkable young lady who, despite the pain of sickle cell anemia, she earned her master's in education by the age of 23. Alana was featured in a documentary about sickle cell and became a great advocate for sickle cell anemia families. Alana often said she has sickle cell, but sickle cell does not have her. She passed away due to a stem cell transplant complication. Alana is survived by her loving mother, Joyce L. Nolan, and brother Anthony, also Nassau Community College alum. Our thoughts and prayers are with them.
Look for many new and exciting events on the Alumni Association social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and our web pages at www.ncc.edu/alumni. If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and/or accolades, email us at alumni@ncc.edu and we will shout you out.
Today's guest is Dr. Corrinne Graham, class of 2001. Corrinne Graham and Graham International Consulting and Research specializes in strategies for small business growth, development, research, and training. Corrinne Graham was named Long Island Business News Top 50 Most Influential Women in Business, Diversity in Business Awards, and Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprises. She is a highly accomplished speaker, trainer, and management consultant to small and startup businesses. Welcome to Lion Tales, Corrinne.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You were so accomplished, and tell us about the courses that you took at Nassau that you would say was a foundation builder for this career.
So, in terms of foundation builders, I took a couple courses, I would say, that were, for me, fun, that I enjoyed, and just in general, I think it was a sociology or anthropology class with this particular professor, and it just reminded me of watching the Indiana Jones movies and that sort of stuff. And, you got a lot. I do like the social sciences very much, and I think that helps, it helps in terms of who you are and how you develop people skills and communication skills. In terms of, I did the fun courses, I did tennis and piano lessons, and I thought those were good things in terms of not taking things so serious, and also to try things you've never done before.
Yeah, did you ever do bowling? A lot of our alum have done bowling, and they really talk about that.
I've never done bowling.
And so in 2014 you started a consultant business after earning your PhD. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Wow, right. One of the things with one of my committee member who should have been my chair, but couldn't take on more students, we worked very closely together. And in one of the dialogues, I think based on some of my track records of just doing analytic work and that sort of stuff, was just saying how people were not talking about they don't have job opportunities or businesses weren't doing so great. And I thought there were no reason for it, because if they're really looking at what was out there, they would see how to pivot or change or what they needed to do. And to the tail end of the dialogue, it was, he's like, but Corrine, don't you know the job of PhDs is to create economic empowerment and create those job opportunities? And sure, I know that, but when you're in that dialogue, it just doesn't really hit you that way versus what my career path that I thought I wanted.
And so if you tell us some of your characteristics that led you to know that you had a communication gift.
Well, I don't know that I think that I knew that I had a communication gift. I'm going to say I love the sciences is one of my little things, and the sciences don't love me back. You'll hear me say I love spring, but spring doesn't love me back with the allergies. So I've always been fascinated by science and technology. I love them and I enjoy them, but then I think I wasn't cut out for that. So I just really did the thing that I did very naturally or was very good at, which is business. And the rest, I think, as I mentioned, taking programs that also help to build you as an individual so that you develop those people skills. But I think if you don't inherently have that, you can't be attuned to it. In that sense, it's something that you find that you gravitate towards, or something is fascinating that you then go and is like, I love the sciences. I definitely, anthropology be one of my classes. One of my classes I did was human sexuality. How are you going to learn? I
had that class here too with Dr. Hiddleman.
I don't remember. Probably. The name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, that was human sexuality. I remember that class. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And then I think that also helps you to communicate with that type of a course, because it's a mixed group of people and people are sort of reluctant to speak about some topics.
Well, even I was plenty young when I was in that class, and when you had a lot of more mature, older students in it, and probably I would think I was like one of the younger ones because I did it on a Saturday morning, and it was my first class. I think it was like at 7:30 we had that class for the day. And there were some interesting things that people were sharing, and again, it's that learning experience of not learning to judge but to be able to understand, so that it puts you in it frames everything a little differently. So to the point of being an effective communicator, you kind of need to know what parameters you're working with so that you can kind of get a good message across, or an important message.
That's true. And that's one of the things that people have to know. The weekend college experience, that one you had, and you were younger. And a lot of people have to remember that, Nassau Community College has weekend college, and it allows you to take the opportunity, the time, because we always say we don't have time, but this gives you the time to take a class that you would want to attend. And so that must have been a great experience, because as you did, students were mature, and they are. I went to her in that same time, and students are mature at that time because they're working parents or have jobs and houses, and those kind of things.
Exactly.
So we are going to come back, and we're going to speak more to Dr. Corrinne Graham. You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Corrinne Graham, who was named Long Island Business News Top 50 Most Influential Women in Business, and a proud alumni of Nassau Community College. So, with over 18 years of experience from large to small organizations in over 15 industries and areas of business, you served as a chief officer, a director, a senior manager, and an interim COO. Tell us about your days in corporate America.
So going back to piggybacking about that, having diverse skill set, not wanting to be in a certain area. At 8, I knew what I wanted to be. I didn't follow that path, but it was something that told me I wanted to be a general surgeon. I never followed that, whatever else it is. So fast forward to what you were really good at versus what you were chasing. I was chasing the sciences. It's like, they don't love me. So going through corporate was really a learning experience, and it sets you up, and it set me up for what I'm doing today, because, like everybody else, I'd fuss to myself and look at it, you're not getting the growth that you would need or the training that you would. And so thereby you would transition into other companies because you knew a lot more than that company was. And you saw they didn't do well after.
Right.
And so you had to be very strategic about what do you want for yourself and where do you see yourself going, and learn all the lessons that you can and be able to be politically correct in any environment regardless of what's going on, and transition.
Now, you spoke about the gaps and pain points that you noticed being experienced by small businesses and individuals. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, one of the things a colleague of mine, when I just launched and I was pitching the conference, we launched our company with a profitability conference in 2014. And just sharing the information, someone did exactly what I was talking about. Like, the pain points are around their core business skills. And a lot of the small businesses are slotted to be mid-sized companies, even startups, to grow. But they can't get out of their own way, right? They don't want to spend the money for the things that they need to, or they are looking for results that are just not reasonable or make any sense whatsoever. So they're trying to follow certain things and not understand. I always say slow, steady win the race, but everything is foundation. You can't build something overnight. So whatever that course is, you have to take it to really be successful, and not just for a couple of months or for a year, but look 5 years ahead, because all of these things are going to change and you're going to have to go back to the drawing board within a couple of months.
Right. Is there any particular industry that you deal with more so, or?
No, so far I think I've had the opportunity to work in different things, whether it's retail, it's manufacturing, it's tech, it's health. So it's really broad. It's individuals who have different sorts of business that they're doing, whether it's online, or I think I've been able to touch a couple of different areas of businesses or in individuals themselves. I don't have any one specialized industry, so to speak.
What about people building their websites in order to sort of start up their businesses? Have you seen an increase in that, or did that start and stop? Because I kind of think it started and stopped.
So one of the things I always talk about is doing a marketing plan first before doing a business plan. And part of the marketing plan is that you should have a web presence. People want to know where you are. So do you have to get the website right away? Get maybe the social media aspect of a really good Facebook, and then people know so they can find you, and the using technology to sync. And then you definitely should have a website, because that's where, again, credibility, you look like a legit company and so on. Social media is great, and every company now has to have that social media page. But I think if you want to build an audience and build brand and so on, you're going to start with that. I would say you want to build both of them at the same time, even if it's kind of like a small website design. You should have both of them at the same. Your website is always it's a revolving door. You're going to always have to do updates. But if you do a really good website, it will work for a little bit. So you should spend money to do that. It's your brand.
Right, and it's the days of, a lot of people bombard businesses or new businesses, I'd say, with all these different web masters and things like that. Do you have, and when you're branding, if the webmaster company goes down, then everything that you've done, I remember that happened to me one time, like, what happened? And the companies that were building the webs, they went down on those first things. What advice, because Facebook is really a good start just to kind of get your name and see what's going out there. What other advice would you give for?
So even with Facebook, they own your data, and if they pull you down, everything's gone. So that's even a reason why you should have your own website. I think one of the things everybody know and want to learn how to do WordPress or do whatever it is to design a website. I was taught in school as well to do this, but it's not something I want to do. It's important to understand it, so then you know the dynamic of what needs to go in there. So you definitely want to have a website. You want to go with a reputable organization, and even in terms of losing your data, now you have the cloud. You can store things. You have to sync technology, and you know what? I tend to use organizations that I can rely on with their servers, that anything happen, they have the backup to the backup to the backup, and then guess what? having a management accounting background, I have some data on somewhere else stored in terms of where I need to access thing on a spreadsheet or a Word document. All those things. You keep files.
You are listening to Lion Tales. Today's guest is a highly accomplished speaker, trainer, and a management consultant to small and startup business and a proud alumni of Nassau Community College, Dr. Corinne Graham. My name is Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And